All right, we have obviously another great challenge for Auburn this week. Got a early game with Vanderbilt, and this is a very good football team. And if you look at just how they're playing, even their last game last week with Florida, just a very hard-fought game right down to the end. This is a team that, although if you look at their record, it's not going to be impressive on paper as is ours, but they've had some really good football teams that they've played, and their 4 losses come to, I don't know what their combined record is, but they're very good, and 3 of those 4 obviously are top 15 teams in the country at some point or another, and had a very good win on the road against Missouri. So they played really well on the road in an SEC game. So this is a good football team. It's going to be a great challenge for us. We're looking forward to another opportunity to go out there and play, and so we're continuing to work in that direction. Again, I got to give Coach Franklin a lot of credit for his team that really plays hard on both sides of the ball. They're very impressive to watch on film. And so again, I think it's going to be a great challenge for us, and we'll have to play very good to beat them Saturday at their place. But again, they're a football team that's again very active and very well coached.
Questions?
Coach, what's the biggest challenge for you and your staff right now at this point in the season?
Well, our focus every day is to improve and win. And so, we got challenges, on our team, in every phase. I mean, I think that's obvious if you watch us play. So, again, we got one goal. It's like I talked to the team. We're not coming off the goal. The goal is to every day stay positive, every day to, go out to practice and work to continue to improve. And, really that probably sounds very simplistic, but that is the message.
How are you keeping team morale high? How are you keeping that up?
Well, when you get to these situations for young guys, it requires a lot of leadership and a lot of an unbending mentality in the direction that you have to head and how to try to get there. I'm the leader of the team and the leader of the group, and I am unbending with how I approach every day with our football team. And, again, in your life and in football certainly, which there's got a lot of parallels to it, you got one choice. You keep fighting on and you keep doing the things that you have to do to improve in life your quality of life, or in football your quality of football. That's really the message. There's no magic. Obviously our players are disappointed. They're in a place that's been really uncharted waters for anybody that's been here, including myself. But as coaches, that's our job, to lead young men and lead them through the pits and valleys of tough times. And so there's no magic formula to it. You got to get up every day and you got to make a conscious choice to come in and work. And I am proud of our team, because every practice that we've had, certainly in the last couple of weeks, they've really tried to stay on track, on the track to improvement. And that's all I can ask out of a football team.
Talk to Sunday about, as the season goes on, getting some young guys to look. Do you anticipate other personnel changes on the field side?
Again, we're gonna look at some young guys again. I think if you just kind of look at the evolution of some of the defensive guys right now, a prime example being Jonathan Jones, Josh Holsey. That's 2 true freshman starting corners. There's going to be guys like that, both offensively and defensively, that we're going to look at. Again, seeing if they're ready to get on the field and execute. We'd like to work in that direction with some younger guys. But again, today I think we'll start again, evaluating each guy to see exactly if they're ready by Saturday. And if they are, then you could see some younger guys out there.
Coach, Philip was in here and he mentioned the importance of limiting the noise, the outside distractions. How is the team as a whole being able to do that, and then how are you personally being able to do that also?
With our football team, we really, when we were 14-0 and we were on that run, we constantly talked about eliminating all of the outside distractions, because there can be outside distractions whether you're doing great or whether you're doing not as well as you certainly would like to be doing. You know, the great thing about college football is everybody's got an opinion. It's the greatest sport. I mean, it's the greatest sport on the planet, and part of what makes it so great in this part of the country is that everybody does have an opinion. When you get into this, if you're not strong enough to handle that, then you're in the wrong business, both as a player and a coach. So for the players, because they're in a different generation and different time and world, that when they go out and they leave the building, they're going to read and hear everything out there, and we're not going to be able to control that. But it all comes down to the way you process that mentally. And so you have to be strong enough to block out all of the positives when they're telling you how great you are, because you're never that great. And you have to be able to block out the negatives when they tell you how bad you are, because you're never that bad. And so, you know, that's the message that I give to our team on a daily basis. Now, how much they choose to listen and buy into what everybody's opinion is, you know, I can't control that, but I can control it while they're here and try to educate them and teach them that that's the way it'll be the rest of their life. For me personally, I don't live my life that way. That's just not how I live my life. I know exactly what I want. I know exactly what my direction is, and I don't get influenced by the opinions of other people. And that'll never change with me. Now, can I speak for 125 guys when they walk out of this building? No, but I can try to educate them. So I've been through tremendous, fantastic things as a coach in college football. I've been through some valleys. So I understand, you know, how the whole ebb and flow of the nature of a college football season may go, good or bad. But my job is to really help young guys that really, really want to win, and they really, really want to be good, and they want to be the best at their trade. And when there's struggles going on, you know, how to deal with those. And that's my job. So that's what we try to do here, as all of our coaches do. I think most of our kids really hear that and they understand, and I think they learn lessons, because there's a lot of our guys on our team that heard the same story 2 years ago, but it was flipped. So I love our guys. They're trying to battle through a tough time, and we're going to help them do it.
Gee, when Pat Dye goes on the Fine Ball show yesterday, and he says things like he doesn't see things getting any better, he doesn't see Auburn winning another conference game, unless someone steps up and becomes a man at quarterback, we don't stand a chance. There are unsolvable problems on offense. Is that healthy when a former coach goes on the radio like that and talks about a program? Because I don't know how many people, you know, respect that opinion, but is that a little, I don't know, I want to say out of line for a former coach to say that?
You know, Coach Dye is a tremendous football coach, was a tremendous football coach, and I've got a lot of respect for Coach Dye, without question. I can't spend a lot of time and energy in deliberation about whether what somebody said, whether it was Coach Dye or whether it was an alumni from 1968 that nobody knows who he or she is. I just don't have, you know, I don't have an opinion on that, you know, because my day when I walk through the door consists of my coaches and my players in the direction that we're headed. I'll go back to what I said before. What makes college football great is that, you know what, there's going to be people on the radio, there's going to be people on the TV, and there's going to be people outside now that can say and do whatever they want, and it can be public as it can be. And hey, that's great. That's great. But if I concerned myself with all of that, then that would suck the energy and the life out of me trying to do a job here that I know that I got to stay concentrated on one thing, trying to keep my coaches and my players on the path of improvement. So I got a high level of respect for Coach Dye. Not really sure what you're talking about. Heard what you said, respect what you said, but I can't spend my time, you know, again, you know, one way or the other with that type of stuff.